Chicago, we are back again following one hell of an entry draft that has really put this team on a positive direction change in a rather short amount of time. Not that the IRL Hawks are in a bad spot in terms of the amount of draft capital that they have, but still, we are looking pretty good. And I want to kind of remind you all what the situation is with the team, where our goaltending is pretty much set. We're probably going to run with Comesso, Soderblom, and Sogard. It really just kind of depends on what the overalls happen to be. Defensively, we're overloaded, and we're going to be able to reinvest some of these players into draft picks down the road because we have way too many players for way too few spots. Offensively, Frank Nazar, he's going to get a shot at the NHL level next year. No doubt. He scored 50 goals, we'll call it in the quote NCAA, which I don't know if there's ever been a 50-goal season in the NCAA. Alex DeBrincat returned, meaning that more than likely Alex Iafallo is going to get traded here today so that Reichel, Kurashev, and Ness can be the top three. But Gavin Hayes is also pushing for an NHL spot next year. Like, we have an incredible amount of talent already, young talent in particular, which led us to the free agent period. And again, for RFAs, nobody that we're going to go for here out of the gates. Again, you could argue to go for somebody cheaper. I mean, even Jamison Reese is there, so maybe we will explore that option. But in terms of UFA, the big name is Sebastian Aho. In goal, I mean, he could go for Hellebuck, but at age 31, it's a little bit risky, just a little bit. Like, do we want to find our goalie on the free agent list? We certainly could. I mean, Hellebuck is Hellebuck. He's ridiculous. He's amazing. So the temptation's there with us having $37 million in cap space. Defensively, Devon Taves is there. Gustav Forsling, not bad, if not a little bit expensive at $8.6 million. He's the only guy I'd consider going for. And then forward-wise, yeah, it's Sebastian Aho, and just whether or not we would want to go for a 26-year-old centerman. The problem is $11 million a season. It's a bit rich, but you could argue he certainly could be worth it, especially as the cap happens to go up. So we are looking at considering a few things. Should also mention in terms of players approached, the prospects that I kind of referred to, the high-end prospects that I'm going to send back to their appropriate team. As well, I did check. Jonathan Taves and Patrick Kane are both on the free agent list. Taves is right there, not looking for all that much. And Kane as well is here at an 84 overall again, actually an 83. Not looking for that much either. At the same time, I just kind of showed you all the younger talent that we have on this team. And do we want players like that, the kind of older players? I mean, you could say under mentor roles. It'd be nice if this had that system like NBA. At the same time, it's quite a few spots. I mean, DeBrincat, Nazar, and probably Halttunen are the top three on that right-hand side. I don't think we want to risk having to play Halttunen on the fourth line. Like, I want to get him at the NHL level and see what he can do. So I just don't think that Kane and Taves really kind of fit at this stage, especially based off of the trades that we have to make. I mean, you look here, it'd be Taves, Bork, Fantilli, and Doc maybe. I mean, we'd have to play Stranges and Halttunen on the wing. I'm going to try to move Faxa if I can. I don't know. It's tough. And because I'm kind of second-guessing myself, actually, I thought I had a game plan set in stone. Let's take a look again at who we might be able to deal out. Defensively, we're going to wait until we know for sure. Even Caleb Jones, who just resigned, might be on the way out. But there is somebody, regardless of prospect development, I should say, is on the way out, and it's Alex Iafallo. Now, you could argue bad asset management on my part, because we probably could have gotten a little bit more for him had we waited. Funny enough, Jacob Trouba's there for a second-round pick, but again, we already have a logjam on defense. We could have gotten more for Iafallo, but we didn't know for sure what the situation would be. A lot of teams want him, could use him. I can't send him back to the LA Kings. I also don't think I can look at last season's standings to see who was bad. Am I still allowed to do that at this point, or do they block it off for the playoffs? No, they do still let you look. Okay, who was terrible last year? Aside from us. Nashville, Carolina, Arizona. Okay. Nashville, Carolina, Arizona. Iafallo probably won't help you all that much, so I think we can move him there, and it's free agency, and they can solve their own issues. When in doubt, we will send him back to Nashville for a 4th and a 5th. Hate to do it, but we're going to do it. That is a done deal. Iafallo's out the door. What do we do? What do we do about Aho? What do we do? Oh, man. RFA-wise, I already kind of talked about the logjam of talent, but you can kind of see the younger guys that are here. We talked about Adam Beckman. I have to at least throw an offer out for Adam Beckman, right? 3 years of an ELC. Could go $2 million. Honestly, I'm going to try it. What would $2 million be? Would that be a draft pick, though? 3rd round pick. How low can we go before it's not a draft pick? I should just go look, but I'm stubborn. Oh my God, 1.6? Nope. How about 1.5? Okay. We'll go 2 years, one way instead of two-way at 1.5. And either Minnesota matches this, or maybe he goes to St. Louis. But we're going to offer that deal for Adam Beckman. We're going to go for Jamison Reese as well. Again, simply because I think it's the smarter thing to do. 3 years, 1.5 on a one-way deal. Kind of press Carolina to make a decision. There's a couple 24-year-olds. And then Peyton Krebs is too good to go after, as is Schneider in terms of cost. There's a bunch of these defenders. And I know I already have a lot of defenders to worry about, but like I said, let's kind of press to force these teams to keep their guys here. We're going to go 3 years, 1.5 for Caden Korshak. Simon Lundmark, same thing. This could cause a lot of issues. It's really, really good in terms of that log jam worth of talent. But hey, we're going for it. We're absolutely going for it. 3 years, 1.5 for a man who was traded for Timo Meier. Maxence Gwinnett. Even for old Maxence, we will go for him. Just identical deals across the board. I can't imagine we'd get all of these guys. There's got to be some matching there. Has to be. And yeah, goalie-wise, there's nobody. So one more look. Do we go for Hellebuck? Do we go for Aho, Taves, or Kane? I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait a couple of days. We'll see this through and see where we stand. We will have some staffing offers coming through as well. A lot of scouts. I had to completely rework the scouting department, which, of course, as you know, from that last draft, was absolutely terrible. We had a bunch of C-grade scouts, and yeah, needless to say, that did not help all that much. But we should be able to get through this and kind of get those initial offers in. Oh boy, still all the scouts. All of the scouts. Good Lord. Okay, it's the last time we should have to sign that many scouts at once, though. So Gwinnett accepted. Saron Noel is here, but he will be dealt away. Jamison Reese, Korshak, Beckman, Lundmark. Afanasiyev's here for the purpose of being traded. Okatyuk, Schwint, Wolf, all signed. Let's go ahead really quickly. And you know what's going to happen. It's going to be 7th round pick swaps. I'm going to send those guys back to their team really quick. Give me a second. All right, nonsense with the AI aside. Let's move to the next day and the day after. All right, so Adam Beckman is ours for $1.5 million, which is fantastic. Simon Lundmark will be staying with the Jets. Okay, so 50-50 so far. Korshak will be staying with Vegas. We'll have Okatyuk staying with the Sharks. We got a couple other offers. Jamison Reese staying with Carolina. Gwinnett staying with Ottawa. And I think that was it for our offers. Ooh, it looks like someone picked up Aho. It looks like somebody did. I was hoping to wait it out for that price to drop a little bit, even though we could have paid it. But yeah, Sebastian Aho is on the outs. So I was very tempted. But based off of who we have at center, I think we can also wait for a little bit. Patrick Kane's still out there, but Jonathan Taves is off the board as well. My logic behind that is if we sign Aho, if we sign Hellebuck, we're going to be a better team, and we might cost ourselves higher draft picks. And that's not a very wise thing to do right now. It's better to be a bad team that can give playing time to younger talents. But we have $40 million to spend, so we'll take one more look here over the roster, double check what we might need aside from a cap whale or two. Again, goalie-wise, we should be fine. We really shouldn't need anything at this point. Defensively, we pretty much got to wait it out till we see kind of what the whole situation is. So forward-wise, it's looking like Nazar, Greer, DeBrincat, and Haltinen on the right. Left-hand side, Reichel, Kurashev, Ness, Beckman, or Hayes. One or the other. Not sure which, now that we have Beckman. And then centers, Bork, Fantilli, Stranges, maybe Doc. I don't think we really need anything except for cap whales. I mean, even Radek Faksa, I plan on keeping on roster in the meantime, simply because we kind of need him. But there is something to the idea about bringing back Patrick Kane. There really is. If he's toiling away on the free agent list, we'll make sure to sign him. We'll do it that way. That said, let's quickly double check. Did we have any other trades aside from our own? No, we did not. In terms of signings, again, as always, not going to mention everybody. David Krejci. But of course, Nashville picked up Taves, just like they did O'Reilly and Bergeron. Fleury to Winnipeg. Chandler Stevenson with Detroit. Gensel to the Islanders. Hellebuck went to Arizona. So much for the one-year deal of Jonathan Quick. Devon Taves to Philadelphia. Bratt stayed with New Jersey. And Aho went back to Carolina, which, you know what? Fair. I'm not upset about that at all. Cam Talbot's now in the LA Kings. Jeremy Swayman to Montreal. A little bit upset about that. Do love me some Jeremy Swayman. But yeah, all in all, some decent deals. Ottawa gets Tom Wilson. Peyton Krebs sticking around in Buffalo. Let's sim a couple more days here. Actually, we could go a decent ways in the future here as Crevier signed his entry level. What are the other big signings? Here's Zadorov to Detroit. Grzelcyk to Carolina. Ronnie Attard on the move. David Perron is gone. Anthony Mantha. Montour to Boston. Matt Murray got 4 years in Buffalo. Whew. That is a risk. That is a risk right there. So the remaining players, and $40 million to spend now, 40 people under contract. We do still need to come to terms with P.O. Joseph. But there are some other dudes here. Tessier, but how much better are they going to get? Probably not that good. And then Joseph and Schneider. There's not too much to do. Goalie-wise, we could bring in Varlamov or even James Reimer if we cared to. Jonathan Quick, just because it would be weird. Forsling is still out there defensively. But again, we don't want to be a good team right now. Even a Teuvo Teravainen reunion here in Chicago could be interesting. Patrick Kane, though, is still out there. I want to double check. We did double check free agents. Let's go another week. Pretty much treat it week by week. This way we can kind of see who went where. Although at the same time, I think what I'll do is just go ahead at the start of every season and do the quick scroll through. Tell you guys where to jump ahead if you don't care. And then, yeah, at least that way it's there and you can kind of see how these teams have moved on. So let's go pretty much directly then to August 1st. That's kind of my go-to date. Obviously, the calendar sim might have been a little bit faster than this, but we're almost there. So August 1st, where are we at? Because this is pretty much the time. Man, even Joe Pavelski is still out there. Like, we know we have to bring in a couple of people to round out this roster in terms of the salary. We could bring Stalock back. Could bring Ronta after all this time. Bring Ronta in. Trey Grosnick. I mean, we could use one more goalie. Defense. So Forsling's finally gone. Barry's out there. And then forward-wise, Patrick Kane's still there, but he does have an offer. Good. Good. You know what? Because of that, people are getting offers. Let's go to next season. We'll see what's up with P.O. Joseph, who hasn't gotten a single offer. So teams are just like, yeah, no, we're not going to pay you $7 million, which only benefits us. And this way, we can see where we are in terms of who needs to be dealt off of this team, because that is very much going to happen. And again, this year, I'm not as worried about the AI being stupid. Again, to showcase it, even though it bothers the crap out of me, Boston on 39 contracts because they won't sign two ways. Colorado on 38, 32 for the Florida Panthers. The AI is absolutely abysmal. Again, they don't understand the concept of signing players to two-way deals. And just to showcase it, yep, the Bruins have 3 goalies under contract, and they're trying to trade one of them. Yeah, it's 3 goalies under contract, 3 goalies under contract, including a medium AHL starter. 3 goalies under contract. I think my point's been fairly well proven just how bad the AI is in this game, but I love to reiterate it because, yeah, why not? Why not? First things first here. Unsigned players. Nobody quite good enough to take the step up to the AHL level. That said, Stuart Panayi, Otto Stenberg, they could both play in the AHL this year with Rockford, as could Antoine Michaud, but you know what? We're going to leave him out. And then Thomas, we're not going to. So we're going to sign Panayi, and we are going to go back over. Florian Jacki is probably old enough to be signed. We're also going to sign Otto Stenberg and put those guys down in Rockford. And then for roster moves. Ooh, Comesso up to an 80. Okay, so we do have a choice between Soderblom, Comesso, and Sogard. We're going to have to work on that a little bit. But I think I know how I want to do that. Defensively, yeah. Way too many people for too few spots. Del Mastro can still be in the minors. We got to figure something out here in terms of who is staying and who is going. And there's a chance, of course, I'll make decisions that people don't necessarily like. That is bound to happen when we have had prospect development like this. So really quickly here, right? Like obviously Korchinski on that left-hand side. You got Jones as a righty. You have Murphy as a righty. Caleb Jones can play both sides, which is pretty nice. I'm gonna have to put some thought into this again. Give me a second here. All right, it took me a minute, but I think I have this sorted. We'll go over the defensive plan in a minute. Forward-wise, I have the combination down as well. These are the players that will start this season at the NHL level, unless there's a drastic change with the likes of Faxa in the minors, Tapley, and even Colton Dock, who I thought might take the step up. For the moment, we're going to double-check with other people first. But as mentioned, there are trades that need to be made, at least one, if not two. Defensively, here's the situation on the right-hand side. We are looking at Seth Jones. We are looking at Connor Murphy. It comes down to either Caleb Jones or Alec Regula. And Caleb Jones at this point, obviously fun to keep him given that his brother's on the team. He is fine. He is literally the definition of serviceable defenseman, whereas Regula at 24 is also just fine. Like, they're pretty much the same. I mean, Regula, it might surprise people, he's not all that physical. Or at least, wasn't overly physical based off of certain AHL level research. And again, sometimes we go a bit generic with it. But yeah, for him, for both, it's like, well, if we could find a better right-handed defender to be in that spot, that would be great. Not saying let's go out and get 33-year-old Tyson Barrie, but we do need to quickly look through these teams as Buffalo's looking to get rid of some prospects. Jonathan Huberdeau's on the move, apparently. We do need to see if there's anybody that kind of fits the bill of being better than Regula, who's a little bit younger and has a bit of a higher ceiling. Yamamoto, by the way, still an RFA. Or talk about a cap whale. How about Seth Jones and Drew Doughty on the same team? Or Jared Spurgeon. I love me some Jared Spurgeon. I do. I really love me some Jared Spurgeon. Damn. Out of nowhere, we have an interesting little choice to make, don't we? I was thinking somebody younger. Not him. not him. We're not that desperate. But maybe, just maybe, one of the veterans makes a bit more sense. Braden Schneider, still an RFA. And Trouba is out there as well. But if we dealt Trouba, or for Trouba, we'd also have to move Murphy. And again, I really do like Connor Murphy, but maybe Braden Schneider is the guy. It's very clear that they are trying to clear out cap space, and Schneider fits our window just a little bit better than either of the other two that we mentioned before. Sandin Pellikka's there. He's just very inexperienced for the Leafs. Shea Theodore, who can play the right side, 29 years old, great passer of the puck. Honestly, maybe Shea Theodore. Theodore, Jones, Murphy. That's not bad. There are more options here than I would have thought. So Sandin Pellikka is the youngest of the bunch to be like, okay, let's go for him. Obviously, completely unproven. There's the two veteran presence options, and then there's Shea Theodore. I just don't think what we'd have would be enough. Oof, that's pricey. Now time to reveal who else we're considering moving, at least defensively. Kevin Korchinski, his spot is safe on that left-hand side for obvious reasons. Drafted player Ivan Vorobyov, his spot is safe for obvious reasons. That leaves a decision needing to be made between Nolan Allen, who's a high top four, and David Zanetti, who's a medium top four, but with silver tape to tape, so he'll help chemistry a little bit more frequently than Allen would, but Allen is developing quite well, and he is a phenomenal skater. Not that Zanetti is terrible, but using either one of them could certainly help something happen here. Do we like the idea of Shea Theodore? I think we do. Does he make the team too good too early? Which is why we were looking for prospects, but is Sandin Pellikka not quite good enough? Theodore's 29. How old is Seth Jones at this point? Seth is 29 as well. You could argue we're trying to be on the Seth Jones window, whereas both Doughty and Spurgeon are mid-30s at this point, as is Pietrangelo. Shea Theodore. I don't know why Vegas is looking to move him. The problem is the 1 year left on his deal. Toronto. What do you want for Axel Sandin Pellikka? Should probably go to Trade Finder to find out. Even though he's only a 72, I am not opposed. Is he not on their block? That's us. GG's. I forgot that I went to the Trade Finder. I'm losing my mind, man. I swear. But for Sandin Pellikka, what do they have in mind? Vlasic, Hayes in a fourth. Hayes a fourth. Regula and Beckman. I mean, we certainly could use Beckman and just have somebody else fill in. A third, Regula, and a sixth, or Nazar. This is pretty much perfect. We were looking to get rid of Regula anyway. A third and a sixth will easily be able to recoup that based off of other deals made. Let's do it, and we'll aim a little bit higher with Axel Sandin Pellikka. So the Leafs get, they lose a prospect, but they get a little bit better in terms of ready NHL defenders. I'm going to take that. I am going to take that deal, and we are going to try to use Sandin Pellikka here moving forward. So Regula is out. He is not going to be the only one. Seth, I am so sorry to do this, but I'm trading your brother. What can we get for Caleb Jones? A second in Pajot. Noah Osterland and a third. That's not bad. I think that's Gabe Perreault and a third. Richie, Ryan O'Reilly, Nabokov in a second. Philip Mizar. Ooh, Philip Mizar. He'd fit in decently. Hudson. I do like me some Lane Hudson. Emil Heineman on that left-hand side, a second and a fifth, 2 third-rounders. I don't know if I can deal with any more prospects being on our team right now, but, I mean, a medium sixth and a third is a pretty damn good deal. I mean, it's just a matter of who the hell do we take? It's more valuable than a second rounder. Damn. This just keeps evolving. It just keeps evolving. All right, so for Buffalo, Oslin's a 73 at 20 years old. We're going to sort through this. A 73 at 20 years old. Gabe Perreault was a 72 at 19. Leaning towards Gabe Perreault, especially a dual position where Oslin does not. So Gabe Perreault right now on Colorado, 72 years old. 72 years old. I told you, I'm losing my mind. 72 overall at 19 years old. LA no longer looking to move Drew Doughty. That's pretty weird. But Mazar, holy hell. I mean, I always feel kind of bad for taking somebody away, but at the same time, am I really going to feel bad about that? They're the ones that are offering. I think we go talk to Montreal right now. Or do we go back and inquire about Braden Schneider? Because we could really build around him. We could do both. We could absolutely do both. Both is the answer. We could do both. So, Caleb Jones, you, my friend, are out of here, and we are going to send you to Montreal for Philip Mazar and a third-round pick. No-brainer for us. Thank you, Montreal. I feel kind of bad about that, but at the same time, I don't. You should have stayed away from Jeremy Swayman. Not cool. The New York Rangers. You have somebody that I want, and that is Braden Schneider. Maverick Bourque and Alex Vlasic. Well, that I am not willing to do, let me tell you. But I do have a different defender that I have to move. And these guys have contract control. And it comes down to either Nolan Allen or Zanetti. And I am leaning towards keeping Zanetti Nolan Allen. But Nolan Allen's 2 years older and an overall point worse. But he does have a better potential. But he doesn't have an ability which will help out chemistry moving forward. But Nolan Allen was drafted by Chicago, and it's kind of nice to build up with actual prospects. Oh, Nolan Allen. Will you do this 1-for-1? That way you actually get somebody, but we get Braden Schneider? Done deal? No. But we can make this work. We can make this work. It takes two to make a thing go right. And we are going to make this deal work. Because now we have Sandy and Pellica in the system. I'm not going to give up any of our big, beautiful boys, because why would we do that? But we can give up Jerome McGinley's son. Not enough. I mean, personally, I think that was an enticing offer. Allen in the fourth? They would take it, but they're saving money. If I take Jacob Trouba, and we do a 3-team trade, and I move Trouba somewhere else while retaining salary, will you do this trade? Yes, you will. So Nolan Allen is off to the New York Rangers. We elect to keep Zanetti. Schneider is here, and we'll round out this defense. But we also have to move on. We are wheeling and dealing way more than I thought we would in this, by the way, but hey, it's fine. Jacob Trouba. Is there anybody that wants him? I doubt it, given he's been on the Rangers trade block for God knows how long. But can we immediately flip Trouba and again consider this a 3? We forgot P.O. Joseph. I think that's Zanetti out too. I totally forgot about P.O. Joseph. Anybody want Trouba? No. Well, guess what? You're about to get a Zanetti-sized incentive to take on Jacob Trouba. Congratulations, because we still have to sign P.O. Joseph. So it is going to be Zanetti, and it is going to be Trouba, and we are going to retain 50% on Jacob Trouba this year and next, and that way, hey, we have a cap whale without having to sign a free agent to, however, many millions of dollars. And who is a team that has cap space? Carolina has cap space. Do you need defense? No, you don't. No, you don't. Is there anybody else that has cap space? Detroit. I mean, your defense is kind of mid, but you have plenty of people. So that doesn't really help. Montreal, I mean, nope, they're looking pretty good after signing Noah Hannafin and prospect development. Again, no idea how to build teams, the AI. The New York Rangers. The New York Rangers. How would you like your captain back? Does that sound good? You want your captain back on half salary? I'll just take Edouard Sale because I have no space for Nolan Allen, even though I want him back. How about I just take Edouard Sale off of your hands here, and you guys get Zanetti and Trouba, and I'll just get a little bit extra back, and that's okay. And we'll gladly take that second round pick next year and a third round pick this year, and that way you get Jacob Trouba on half salary, you get Zanetti, I get Sale and picks. What do you say? They said no. What if we take off a third? They still said no. I'm surprised. How about just the third? They'll do that. Yeah, you will. Yeah, you'll do that, won't you? 2/3? No. Zanetti and Trouba on 50% for Sale and a third. Done deal. Pleasure doing business with the New York Rangers. God, what has this team become? What has this team become? So defensively now, right side is Jones, Murphy, Schneider. Left side, Joseph, Korchinski, Vorobyev. Not bad. Vlasic still needs to go too, unfortunately. But that's not a big deal. That's not a big deal. We can get rid of Alex Vlasic as well. Again, we just don't have the proper space for these guys. Let's max out value while we still can. So Alex Vlasic. What can we... Wow, only a 5th and a 7th, a 3rd in Saprikin. Goalie in a 7th. There's got to be something better than that. These values are all over the place. Damn. They are all over the place. We'll take that 3rd rounder and a... Nothing here. You know what? I'm so nice and generous. You can just keep that guy. Oh, shit, they have to flip somebody. Do you have anybody old that you're not paying that much? Nope, that's right, because you suck at building teams. Joseph Saccone. Perfect. Done deal? Done deal. Vlasic, have fun in Buffalo for a 3rd round pick. Now our defense is set. Now here we are. My goodness. We just need to sign our 2 RFA defenders, of course. This is getting to be ridiculous. My God. My God. And then forward-wise, I mean, Philip Mazar is here now, so he might... And Sale is here, too. Goodness. I mean, Sale and Mazar can both play in the AHL this year. Or one of them can come up and Greer can be the captain of our AHL team. Time will tell. This team's ridiculous. Okay, if we go and sign our RFAs, that'll take up some of the money, and then we are still going to need cap whales. So P.O. Joseph, I got 2 years of contract control left, and I'm willing to pay you that little bit of extra money. I will give you exactly what you want for the next 2 years. And for Braden Schneider, who is younger, 4 years of control, and we'll go to 4.5 because you will definitely be worth that. Those deals should go through. I, on one hand, feel kind of bad because the AI are dumb, and I don't like taking good prospects away from the AI. On the other hand, the AI are dumb, and screw them. They don't deserve those prospects. That's where I'm at right now. But Comesso, Soderblom, Sogard, they're all going to be here. We're going to rotate between those 3 goalies. Defensively, we call up Joseph and Schneider. That's a pretty damn good defense right there. That's pretty good. And then we could call up a whale that we end up signing. That way, 1, 2... Yeah, I mean, we'll probably have to play like Rinzel on the wrong side, but okay. So let's go look really quickly. Best lines, we have about $30 million in cap space still. On this left-hand side, let's see, who do we got for players? Dante Fabro's out there, Mark Del Gaizo. Anybody overly interesting? I mean, there's some interesting players, but not anybody I'd call overly interesting. We could bring Philip Roos back into the Back into the system. Nikita Zaitsev. We love Nikita Zaitsev here. Yeah, there's not going to be anybody overly interesting. I lied. I lied. $17 million to Arbor Jacki to be our 7th defender this season. I am here for it. 100%. Life is good. Life is beautiful. Okay, there's a couple of high 7s. I don't really know who else to sign at this point. Who's old? Anton Strawman, Jordy Ben. Jordy Ben could improve our beards per 60. Oh, Mark Borowiecki. There we go. There we go. Let's get another enforcer in there. That should be the defense pretty much settled. Offensively, like I said, I think we're pretty much good to go. We can send down Sale. I think we will run Greer on the 4th line. Let these two just tear it up in the AHL for this season. On the left, we're looking good. Because, yeah, we'd only be able to fit one of them on the roster. And honestly, Radek Faksa might be the healthy scratch at the NHL level just to take up a little bit more money. But what I had in mind was Reichel, Fantilli, DeBrincat. Of course, coaching-wise, it might change as well. We have Ness, Bork, and Nazar. And on the left, we have Beckman with Kurashev and Haltonen, Hayes, Stranges, Greer. The team's coming together. The team's starting to look pretty good. And look at that defense. Vorobiev and Murphy don't work too well together, unfortunately, but I'm not too worried about that. This team, again, will probably be pretty bad in the grand scheme of things, but in a general sense, I still think it's the best kind of pathway for us. And the AHL team as well is going to be looking pretty good. Goaltending is going to be the weakest aspect for them. And if we see that they're losing games, middle of the season, we can always go out and sign somebody if need be. Arbor Jacki is here. He will be our defensive healthy scratch. And for the forwards, it'll be Radek Faksa. That does leave us with $12.5 million in cap space, which is not bad. Not bad. We could probably spend a little bit more, though, just to really play it safe, not be near the floor. So that will go to a goaltender. And, well, there's some decent options out there. Who are the old men? Who are the old men? Tokarski. People love Dustin Tokarski still, right? Yeah. Let's go with Dustin Tokarski. Congratulations, Dustin. Today is your lucky day. Today is your severance package. You say goodbye to the NHL sooner rather than later, but you'll say goodbye with a lot more money in your bank account. So congratulations. And with that, I think we are good to go for the beginning of our 3rd season here in Chicago. I think we have the depth that we need. We made some moves, but I think it's worked out. I mean, Braden Schneider's here now. Most importantly, Arbor Jacki is here now. And we got some younger guys in this lineup. I mean, again, we only have one stud forward, but I mean, DeBrincat should be able to do some incredible damage with Fantilli and really help move Fantilli that much further towards actually being a number 1 center. And like I said, chemistry-wise, things might change depending on how I move coaches around. But we'll go with Vikman and Quap in the AHL. And again, just to look at their defense, too, we're going to be looking pretty good. We got to get Renzel in there. Krutel's 22, Crevier's 23. Crevier's better, but, well, actually, 23, 20. We'll just take Krutel because Crevier's better. Get Sam Renzel in there. It was a medium top 4. And then Borowiecki can play. He can play. That works for me. The alternative would just be having Krutel in there, but that's not a big deal. So Honestly, I'm pretty happy with this. Pretty damn happy with it. I think both teams, obviously I'm going to have to move around the AHL lines a little bit, and I'll do that off video, but I think both teams have a great opportunity at really making a run and being able to do something special this season, particularly in the AHL. The NHL, hey, maybe it's wishful thinking, but genuinely, I wouldn't be surprised if we made the playoffs.